Oh, there's a fish. Okay, he went for the scented corn. Went right for that scented corn. If I can get this one out of the way. So today I'm doing a trial of unscented bait versus scented bait. I got my first fish. He came straight in right for the scented bait. I'm using corn as my bait, so see if we can get this fish in. It looked like a nice one that came in on the camera. Just saw the back of it. I'm just using Trout and Kokanee Magic. It's a really sticky scent from Procure. 3 kernels of corn on both hooks. Woo, it's a big trout. Monster. We get him turned here. It's a very deep slushy hole. Wow, this is a monster. Oh. Come here, buddy. Wow, look at that. Woohoo! That thing is a beast. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Check out that fish. That is awesome. That is such a healthy looking fish. I'm going to harvest that one. That is spectacular. Well, if I only catch one fish today, check out that fish. Spectacular. All right, as I was saying, I'm using Trout and Kokanee Magic Super Gel. I wanted something that was really sticky, is going to stick to the corn well. And I've only been here about, I don't know, 30 minutes, and that was my first fish that came by, and it went straight for that scented corn. I'm just smearing a little bit of the Trout Magic on there. It sticks really well. And dropping both these down at the same depth, so the fish can make a choice. Both same size bait. Fishing in about 15 foot of water here. Now, trout are very visual feeders, so the corn are equally attractive. I did one with worms and power bait earlier, and I've always been curious about how these fish, about how much scent really matters to fish like trout. So I thought I'd run this trial. The screen's flipped for me, so it's kind of weird. So this rod is on the left side of my screen. The rod on my right is on the left, and the rod on my left is on the right. It's very strange. There we go. That was a phone bite. That was on the unscented corn there. Oop, oop, oop. Come back this way, buddy. There you go. I wasn't even paying attention. Alright, so that's one for the unscented corn. There we go. Nice little rainbow. Right there. Alright, so it's a 50-50 split right now. Get this guy off the hook and back in the water. See you later, buddy. Okay, so now we're going to rotate the positions of the corn. Put the scented corn in a different hole. That way we just keep some randomization going here. I just turned around and I saw my rod starting to go down the hole. I was like, well, that's a bit of a problem. I was getting ready to share those photos with the big trout I caught with my buddy just to rub it in his face. The universe sensed my ill will towards my friend and was like, you know what? I'm going to give you a little lesson in humility and try and take your rod from you. I should be focusing on my fishing. As I was saying earlier, these trout, they're very visual, and they have excellent vision, color vision. But I've always noticed when they come in close to baits, they'll oftentimes inspect it, especially if it's a stationary, still fished bait. If I'm jigging something, they will oftentimes be a lot more aggressive, and they're not going to take that time to really check it out. But, trout don't have hands, so the way they inspect the world is through their eyes, and they also use their mouth and sense of smell to really sense what's going on, as well as their lateral line too. They can use that to detect motion and electrical charge. But I've noticed that they'll really spend a lot of time sort of sniffing baits and checking baits out a little bit, and I have to believe that scent can play a role in that, and so I'm really curious to see how this plays out. Okay, so we're continuing on with the bait trials. I've moved to a new lake because I ran out of time at the old lake. So at the old lake we were split. So let's get started here. We got 5 fish that we can catch to see where it pans out. Right now it's still up in the air. Okay, so on your screen, the scented one is on the left. The unscented is on the right. Oh, here we got a fish coming in. That was on the unscented. He went for it right away. I just missed him. Surprised I missed that one. He was really chomping on that. Here comes a fish. A couple fish. Who's gonna go for what? Ooh, that was another bite on the unscented. And then the other fish went for the scented. Interesting. No strong pattern emerging here. Just the same sort of 50-50 split constantly. There we go. That one's going too. Nice. Got me all tangled up. That's gonna be a mess to untangle everything. This is a fish on the unscented. All right, so that's one landed this morning on the unscented, although we had a couple bites on the unscented there and one on the scented. It just didn't seem to really be a strong pattern. There was multiple fish came in at the same time. We'll refresh the scent here on the corn, and we'll get ready for another trial here. But it did seem like the last few fish have just been going for the unscented first. So it's not like the scent is just drawing them in when they get close. Okay, so we got scented on the left, unscented on the right. Let's see what happens. We got a fish coming in here. Yeah. Oh, I just took it away from. So I have about an hour left, and so far, you know, on the first lake, I just had a 50-50 split. Today, I would say they've really been hitting both, but actually, it seems like a few more bites have come on the unscented, but nothing is really saying, you know, adding scent is creating this big advantage. But they've also gotten a little bit finicky because of the presence of the camera. I've noticed on really bright sunny days they'll do that. So for the last hour, I'm just going to pull the camera up, just do a blind test. We're going to refresh the baits, switch their positions, and fish higher up in the column. See if we can't draw in a few more fish here before I call it quits for the day. Just use the fish finder to make sure they're at the same depth. So scented, unscented. We're going to give it 1 hour run, no cameras, see if that helps get the bite going a little bit. Like I said, these trout, they get weird about the camera sometimes. They just don't want to feed in front of it. They get shy. Nope. Dang it. There we go. That was a tap on the scented, and then he came over and took the unscented. That's a nice fish. Very chromy. Alright, I knew getting rid of that camera would help. Come on, buddy. There you go. Alright, so we had a tap. Then he just immediately went for the unscented. You can see the scented still on there, so he didn't strip it or anything. It was just a little investigative bite, and then he went and committed to the bite on the unscented corn. But we still got time for a few more fish. That's only the second we brought topside. We've had many, many bites. We're still gonna keep scented here, unscented here. There's a fish. There's a fish here. Come on, buddy. Oh, there, that was a bite on the scented. Ooh, gosh, they don't hold on to that darn scented bait. Then they hold on to the corn, the plain corn. Isn't that interesting? That is the second time that that's happened, where they make a short strike on the scented. They just don't hold on to it, but they'll come over and smash that unscented corn. A little shiny bow. There he goes. What is going on with the scented corn? Starting to think these fish don't like it. Alright, I'm going to reset the scent. That's our third fish. We got 2 more fish we can pull topside legally. Alright, I'm going to smother this with the scent again. This is just the trout and kokanee magic. Okay, unscented, scented now. Oh, here's a fish. Just came in. What's he going to do? Is he going to take one? No. He's coming back. He's biting the unscented. Just had a nibble on it. What's he? He's still swimming around down there. Nope, swam away. So he just nibbled on the unscented and left. Didn't even bite the scented. Here comes another fish. That's a, come on, hold on to it. They will not hold on to that scented corn. And there he is going for that. Like, it's the same scenario it happened last time. It's crazy. That is so strange that they are so eager to hold on to the unscented corn. I told you they didn't like that camera though. As soon as I got rid of the camera, I started getting bit like crazy. Alright, one more fish. Okay, let's make sure we still got good, fresh looking bait on the scented. Put some fresh bait on here. Rescent it. But that's 3 times in a row now where I've got light bite on the scented, followed by a very heavy bite, where they'll just hold on to it on the unscented. Relatively same size of bait. There's no significant difference here other than the scent. Oop, here comes a fish. Come on, buddy. Oh, that was at least, again, this is a first time bite on the scented. He's going to hold on to that freaking... Okay, he's come back. There he is. He's chewing on the... So he came in, he hit the scented first. Then pulled away. Oop, come on up, buddy. And hit the unscented, then came back and hit the scented. What that result tells me is just like what I've been experiencing, is that there's really no major difference between using scented versus unscented corn, at least with this Procure, Trout, and Kokanee magic. I just didn't see a really strong pattern emerge in terms of which was getting more bites. They seem to just be randomly getting bites. But I think more importantly is it didn't really confer a significant advantage in terms of the amount of time that the fish held onto the bait either. And that's what I'm kind of looking for in a scent, is I want something that gets them to bite and then gets them to hold on to it longer. And I don't feel like adding a scent for trout to the corn really conferred that advantage at all. In fact, I saw a little bit of a trend actually away from that, where I had several fish that would grab on to the scented corn, spit it immediately, come over and grab the unscented corn and hold on to it for a little bit longer, giving me more time to set the hook. That might have just been chance, because I got 3 in a row that had that. But like I said, I'm really looking for something that confers an advantage, and I'm just not seeing that in the results that I had with this experiment. Which, at least the number of bites that I got doesn't really surprise me. I mean, trout are very visual feeders, and just if you have 2 sets of corn hanging out down there beside each other, It's probably just chance in terms of which one they grab first. But I did kind of expect them to hold on a little bit longer to the scented stuff, and I felt like it was actually, maybe it leaned a little bit in the opposite direction, which was a few less. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I just got bit just letting that hang there. That's crazy. That was just hanging like a foot underneath. I just heard the line start to zip out. That's nuts. Okay. Well, I better pull my lines up. That definitely was not intended. That's nuts. Okay, so that's funny. Anyways, an interesting experiment. I learned a little bit. I think that, you know, probably in terms of my goals, adding scent to still fished bait is probably not going to confer you a great advantage when it comes to trout. I'd love to hear your thoughts below in the comments section. Just let me know. And I'll see you next time out on the ice. Just remember, fish smarter, not harder. Bye, guys.